everyone understands that 5G is very different, with its super speeds, low latency, network slicing, and high bandwidth spectrum. And really the old business model with, standardized mass market products and services, that's not going to be enough. And so if you look at the GSMA, they're saying that really 5G is really the first generation of mobile technology, which will have a bigger impact on business than on consumer. So if you then look at, what to do, enterprise and SMB customers have got a big challenge ahead of them. They really need to drive forward their digital transformation agendas, whether it's smart buildings, smart manufacturing, logistics, and there's a huge agenda for that. But if you talk to those enterprise and SMB customers, what they're saying is they really want to buy a solution, not the components or the parts. So something like 63% in our survey said that they wanted to buy an out-of-the-box solution, which is easy to try, easy to buy, and easy to consume. Likewise, there was an analysis Mason study on Edge, and it says 59% of enterprises wanted to buy applications, not to buy edge connectivity or location separately. So they really want to buy solutions. So if you then look at how the CSPs are performing thus far, some research we did with Omdia said that they tracked all the 5G innovations. So far, 21% of innovations have really been driven by the service providers. 32% is enterprises DIY, so that's the really large corporates like the VW Industry Cloud. And 40% is other solution providers, other network equipment manufacturers, or maybe systems integrators. So the CSPs have to do much better in terms of being able to create solutions. So I see a fork in the road ahead, and the fork is a choice that every service provider has to take. Do they go down the path really of getting closer to customers, owning the customer relationship, using data and insights to really understand real problems that customer faces to create those smart manufacturing, smart retail type solutions, building their own ecosystems, and really getting much closer and driving up ARPU, real solutions which bring together 5G, IoT, edge, and connectivity. The other branch is really around where they could take a sort of solution which is much more around selling components. So that's less of an Amazon own the customer relationship and more of an AWS type strategy, which is all around creating components which are really low cost and competitive, where they're really easy to work with. But then they're not going to own the customer relationship or own the ecosystem. They're trying to play in as many ecosystems as they can. And that fork in the road is really whether to take a wholesale strategy to connectivity on 5G or whether to take a solution strategy. Now, bear in mind that connectivity is only about 5% of the revenues. There will be a level of solutions they have to do if they want to be able to monetize those 5G networks. So coming back to your question, the opportunity I see is really getting closer to customers and really starting to create solutions where they own the customer relationship, they own the ecosystem, and they're bringing things together for those customers. So I think it varies for every CSP, it'll vary. So I think some of the great partners out there who bring out-of-the-box solutions is a great way to get things started. So working with people like IoT Next, for example, who've got out-of-the-box solutions to really start that journey, maybe fleet management, smart buildings, smart agriculture. But I think longer term, every CSP needs to think about where their comparative strengths are. So for example, do they offer global roaming? So some of the very large CSPs offer fantastic global roaming. So things like automotive and software over the air and connected car is a great industry for them. Others will be in a geography, let's say, where mining is very big or agriculture is big. So I think it's about picking 2 or 3 different industries where you've got comparative strengths and the right partners. But at the same time, there's nothing harming trying to create, those ecosystems and working with partners and customers, some of the larger customer relationships to understand and evaluate what those problems are in each of those industries, and then using that to create the solutions. So I think it's all about, not doing it all yourself, but really trying to create the new type of relationships where you co-create, co-innovate solutions with partners. I think a lot of the web scalers provide an important part of that. And what we're seeing a lot of our customers are doing are running some extended proof of concepts. And that often starts by working with a series of partners who've got a number of out-of-the-box solutions where they can do smart building, smart agriculture, smart retail, and to really build experience of what this means. And then as they start to perfect and build capabilities and experience, as they start to work in a more agile, experimental way, start to then build out ecosystems based on the customer problem they're trying to solve. So really, that is the place where you start. Who are the customers you're going to start to co-innovate with, and understanding their problems, and then understanding your capabilities, what controls value in that use case, and then what you might infill with partners for in order to create the perfect solution. But I think in all cases, you're looking for world beaters. You're looking for really, really strong partners who've got that deep industry knowledge and understanding, who've got world-class capabilities, and then co-innovating with those partners in an iterative and agile way. I think the IT organization is a critical partner, but I see a lot of these things. If you look at 5G, a lot of it at the moment has been driven out of by CTOs, and it's around the 5G technology. What I think needs to happen is that the product side needs to be far stronger, and it's really around trying to create a joined up team with the IT organization, with product management leading, with partners and the different product silos, and really joining it all up. And I think IT is a business partner there to make sure that you get highly repeatable solutions. So one of the things, if you're working, let's say, in 2 or 3 verticals, how do you get as much repeatability in those solutions? One of the real strengths of the service providers is that ability to provide a managed service and an SLA. But that requires very high levels of being able to repeat solutions, standard components, standard architectures. And that's why I think the IT part of the organization has got a very, very big role to play, because you want highly repeatable, highly standardized solutions, which you can roll out potentially globally, and make sure that what you can offer in terms of SLAs and service levels can be maintained no matter how many solutions and how big that portfolio is. So I think part of it is starting small and actually, using the initial pilots and proof of concepts to really start to align the organization. One of the biggest challenges here is business change. We're talking about new platform-based business models with partners, co-creation, co-innovation. And I think, in terms of starting now, maybe with 4G, and starting to create that ecosystem and to look at those customers and bringing those customers into the room, starting small and starting to really start to innovate and get the new ways of working, and to bring together enterprise, 5G, edge, IoT, robotics, those key partners as well in that co-creation process. And a lot of that is that fundamentally different way of working. So I think if you can start off by aligning your organization around what you want to achieve with 5G, and then starting to build the right ecosystems, looking at the right sectors, and start that co-creation, co-innovation process, really working around the digital business platform to really onboard those partners and onboard those services, and then rapidly iterate and have that agile way of delivering, so you can quickly, maybe in 8 weeks, deliver your first minimum viable product, MVP, and then get feedback from the customer and start to iteratively build on that. And I think that experience, starting off from proof of concept mode with partners, and then starting to think about how to launch and rapidly iterate with partners those solutions, that's the way forward. Here we're talking about moving to new business models, and we're moving away from that standardized products which are sold to mass market consumers, and about how to create those new products and services. So one has to be able to overlay and abstract not just your IT landscape to onboard all the components that you provide as a service provider, whether that's 5G, edge, security, managed service, but also those with partners. And I think one of the challenges here is that you want something which externally is super simple, super easy to try, buy, and consume for customers, with a one click of the mouse or through CPQ to provide a quotation to a customer. But at the other end, with all those partners, maybe 8 to 9 partners per solution, you need to have a completely frictionless model. So you're automating really from shopping cart all the way through to activation. So you're not bringing more cost and complexity into your business. So a digital business platform is really perfect for that because it provides that simple orchestration at the front end and then completely frictionless automation of all the relationships and the complex business rules for all the partners to orchestrate and monetize that service. So it's really a sort of a key weapon, both to creating the new business model, but also ensuring the operating model underneath it is super, super low cost and you get great customer service.